Hi and welcome back. It's been a while since my last video, and I thought I might give you a bit of a catch up and start moving forward with my videos again. I have had a bit of time off because I've just had a baby girl, so that's been pretty exciting, been pretty full on. So not much actually happened with the car over that time frame. But I have a big event coming up. I have a dyno day coming up, and I want to do a whole bunch more recording and making videos because I really enjoyed making them last year. So I thought we'll rip back into it, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Yeah. So what's happened since the last video? Where was I up to on that? Okay, so in the last video, I just started doing the radiator support and the intercooler support, stacking the intercooler on the radiator, trying to make it all fit and get a bit more airflow over both the intercooler and the radiator. That's all finished now. So it's all back together now. Everything's back together. The big turbo is on. The manifold's been modified to twin scroll. The exhaust dump pipe has all been remade. The screamer pipe's all been remade and plumbed back in. Other than that, everything up the back here is pretty much as you saw it last time. The intercooler now, I don't know if you remember, but it was on quite a steep angle before. It's now standing up a lot more. It's probably only at like maybe a 15 degree now, whereas before it was almost at 45. And down the front here, the intercooler itself is, as you can see, probably maybe 3 or 4 inches back from the front of the bumper. And I also have a bigger oil cooler there for the power steering. Purely for the fact, oh, I've lost my screen. Purely for the fact that the factory power steering line wasn't going to work there, and I got a new parts car that had that on it for a auto trans, so I thought that would be perfect, so I bolted that up. That all fits well. So that's all on. It's got proper ducting now, as you can see by the duct tape here and here. It's got proper ducting going all the way up and over the top. I should have a picture which I'll put up about now. As you can see from that picture, it's proper ducting all the way up. It sits up tight against the radiator. It's got a rubber line around it to stop it from wearing through. Also put a new thermostat in it, a genuine one from Mitsubishi. And I put a new water temp sender unit in it, because last time I had the water temp sender here, as you can see. And I was getting very different readings of the temperature from that compared to where the ECU was seeing it. So I've now moved the temperature sender down to right next door to where the ECU is, so I should be able to keep an eye on that a bit better. Let's see. I've now fitted up a tow strap. It's got a cable tie which has got a nick on it, so if you give it a good pull that will break. Not much else has happened out here. I've brought a 3D printer, so I've been starting to have a bit of a play and print some stuff. So I printed myself a neck of duck, which I was going to use pretty much there to feed air into the air filter, but when I put it there, it ends up being something like that, which means it will just miss the filter altogether. So I will hopefully redesign that or change that. Also printed a few things inside the car. So I printed myself a purple gear knob, purely for the fact, oh, it actually looks quite blue on the camera, but trust me, it's purple. That's purely for the fact that my son, at the time of printing this, his favourite colour was purple. But you know, he's 5, so it's now a different colour. But anyway, and also down here I've printed a new cover which goes over that gap, which has a phone holder in it and also a holder for my Diffie controller for the Diffie gauge up there. Other than that, nothing's really all that different. in there. The shed's exactly the same. I have a Mustang down the back, which I'm sure you'll see in the background. It's not mine, it's actually my dad's, so I'm not doing anything to that. It's literally just been stored in here. But, you know, there'll be camera angles where you'll see it, so I thought I might as well just talk about it now. So, yeah, so tomorrow I have to get this onto the dyno to get it retuned for that big turbo, because not next weekend, but the weekend after is an event that we here call in New Zealand Street Fighters, which is a Mitsubishi versus Subaru day. So I am going to, as long as it survives the dyno, I'm going to take it to that, and I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to race some Subarus, hopefully make some new friends, meet up with some of my other friends, and have a really good time. I've also got a set of rotors machined ready for those new brake pads I told you about in the last video. So yeah, so that's all of that. I'm also working on this little project here, which I'm not going to show you too much of now, but pretty much it's for a cable, a cable driven throttle, so you can do downshift blips. So whether it will work or not, I don't know, but just having a bit of fun at a very low budget, and that's how I like to do things around here. So tonight I'm going to give it a service, oil and filter, check over a few things, make sure everything's ready to go on the dyno, check the water, and then we'll get on the dyno, we'll do some runs, and we'll move forward from there. Oh, that's the other thing I've done as well. So the wing, I don't know if you remember a couple of videos back, the wing had actually, one of the supports had punctured up through it. So what I've done is I repaired that, and then I drilled 3 holes in it, and I filled the whole wing up with expanding foam. And then once that cured, I fiberglassed over top of that and set that all back up. So now, hopefully, that won't collapse again. And it also means that I could probably sell that spare wing that I got over there. So that's pretty cool. All right, good morning. As you see, it's a bit dark. It's about 7 o'clock. I'm just heading over to the workshop now to get the ute. It's dyno day. We're off to the dyno, so hopefully you can't hear the wind. A bit blowy. Had a branch over there fall down last night. Don't know if you can see that or not. Like I say, it's pretty dark. Just got to go fill up the ute with diesel, fill the car up with 98, and then we'll be on the dyno. I loaded it up last night. I was going to shoot some footage of loading it up, but it was like pissing down with rain and freezing cold, so I thought, oh, I can't be bothered with this. So sorry about that. Yeah, here's my other car. There's my 91 twin turbo with the blown engine. Jeepers Christ. Oh, it's a bit wet. So yeah, it's my new 2 vehicle. As my old Surf that I had, decided that it didn't need a head gasket. Okay, so we're all strapped up, we're all loaded on. Put the last couple of things in the ute, and then we'll be out of here. I'll pick this back up when we get there. Alright, good morning. We're at the dyno. Dyno's in there. I don't know if he's awake or not yet, so I'll unload the car and that should wake him up. Alright, let's see if we can get this off the trailer without destroying it. Oh. Okay. Well, if that doesn't wake him up, I don't know what will. isn't keeping record. Let's see. That was an interesting one for sure. But we're off, so now we just need to wait for the dyno man. So we're all back from the dyno now. It was the best of a bad situation on the dyno, I guess. The car went strong, made the exact same power and the exact same power curve and torque curve as what it made on the smaller turbo. Coming to a rough conclusion that there's some sort of maybe air restriction, so maybe the compressor on the turbo itself is too small. From the small bit of research I've done, the compressor on this, the same size compressor on a Garrett turbo is rated to about 525 flywheel horsepower, and as a rough calculation this car is at about 480 flywheel horsepower, pretty much with a cheap Chinese poorly designed turbo. So it's very likely that that is my, or that always was my restricting factor, was the compressor wheel. But it could also be maybe my plenum, although I've talked to a couple of people and they both have agreed that the plenum shouldn't be a problem, purely for the fact that it's got quite a small volume. But they said that on wide open throttle that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So yeah, so it made the same power, still makes 303 kilowatts or 305 kilowatts, I think was the best run on 20 pounder boost. So it should be good. It's safe to drive, it's all good to go. So we got Taupo in, what's today? Thursday, Friday. So Taupo in 2 days. And yeah, we're going to go up and do the Street Fighter event, which is a Mitsubishi versus Subaru day. Let's see if I can turn this back on. There we go. So the car's all nice and tidy, it's all clean, it's the cleanest it's probably ever going to be. So I can't expect too much. I've now put a passenger seat in, that's all fully bolted down, so hopefully there's going to be some people that want to come for a ride up in Taupo. So that's all good. And also another thing that I found was my Blitz, my Blitz blow-off valve. When you blow through there, comes straight out the bottom there, so without having vacuum pressure or boost pressure on top of that at 20 pound of boost, it's very likely that that was opening up and just working like a wastegate on the intake side. So I've replaced that now, which sucks because I really like the noise that made. But what I did is I took the trumpet off that and made an adapter so it fits on my old Turbo Smart one. So now my Turbo Smart blow-off valve has a Blitz trumpet, so I'm going to call that a Blitz Bro valve for shits and gigs. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Next video will be footage from Taupo. I think I might try and split that into 2 videos because I think there should be a lot of footage, unless I forget to take something and I have no space left on my card, then it'll be a very short and shit video. But yeah, thank you very much, and we'll catch you next time.